So good evening to you all. Thank you for coming to our regular meeting of the Blight Review Board this Wednesday, September 11, 2024, in room 206 of Town Hall. First, let me ask if I can have a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Thank you, Ms. Oki, and seconded by Mr. Burke. Thank you. Any comments, corrections, changes, edits, what have you? Okay, Mr. Ferentz, any issues you find in there? Okay, no. Good. All right, then, those in favor of approval as submitted, please, yeah, okay, we're good, thank you. All right. At some point in the next few minutes, I believe, our town council, Bobby Burney, is likely to come by, and at that point, I will ask that we adjust the agenda so that he can address us concerning some changes in the Blight Ordinance. Just so you know, and the next item is executive session, but at this point, no members of the public, no property owners are here for that. So we'll just go on the fly here. A couple of quick things to note while we have a minute, sort of. We need 2 new members, and Ms. Ramstack has explained to me that the Human Services Council is wanting members itself and cannot come up with a quorum to have a meeting. So at this point, they have not appointed anybody or recommended anybody to be appointed, so we await that. And as for the RTM, I have been in touch with the moderator, and I watched the Rules Committee the other evening and saw that they are planning to solicit nominations for the membership from the RTM for recommendation to the Board of Selectmen to be appointed here. That is happening at their next RTM meeting. I gather it involves nominations, seconds, and comments if there happen to be more than one person who wants this position. We'll see how all that develops, but hopefully after the next RTM meeting, we will have a new member join us for that. In that connection, I did prepare something of a description of the Blight Review Board, which I have presented to each of you, and I'm happy to give to Ms. Ramstack and Mr. Ferentz. And we should put one in some kind of file, or maybe however you submit photos and whatnot to the town clerk, just so that that is available for the record. Sure. Just a short, sweet, and simple explanation, but Mr. Morton asked me for that so that he could share it with the RTM members, and gather that is what is going on. So, all right. We may now have need of an executive session, I suspect, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, please. So, Channel, all right. Can I have a motion that we go into executive session for the purpose of discussing a potential claim? Thank you, Mr. Burke. Seconded by Ms. Oki, and we are unanimous on that. Thank you, Channel 79. All right, if I could have a motion to resume regular session. Ms. Oki, thank you. Mr. Burke seconds. In favor, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so the next item on, I need a motion to amend our agenda to now have a discussion with our town council. Could I have a motion to that effect that we go there now? Thank you, Mr. Burke. Ms. Oki seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, then let us turn to our esteemed council, Mr. Burney and Mr. Fox, who tell us that there are some changes in the statute and we should be aware and maybe consider some amendments. So please, whoever wants to come explain all that to us. We have a very thorough memorandum by Mr. Burney, which is very helpful. Very helpful, but come on up and give us a little...
Do you want to come here or...
I'm fine sitting there. That's
wherever you like.
Yeah, great.
Just for the benefit of the public who maybe haven't helped in watching this, why don't you tell us what's going on?
Sure, Robert Burney, Town Council's office.
Yep.
Yes.
As to what's going on, I'm here to discuss some updates the state legislature has made to the state blight statutes that in some ways significantly expand the authority granted to municipalities to enforce and regulate blight remediation. The breakdown of the changes as in a memorandum I supplied to the chairman and the blight prevention officer yesterday outlined the general gist of what is happening. And I've broken it down into 3 different categories. In reality, it was part of 2 different public acts that were passed in 2023 and in 2024 that ultimately fully go into effect on October 1st of this year, so next couple of weeks. What these public acts do, broken down into 3 sort of top-level categories, is the first is they significantly expand the authority of municipalities to levy fines on blighted properties. Previously, for many years, the daily fine was capped at $100 per day for blight violations. They've increased those fine levels into 3 different subcategories. The first is daily fines can now accrue at up to $150 a day for residential blighted properties, up to $250 a day for vacant properties that have blighted conditions, and up to $1,000 a day for violations for properties that have 3 or more violations in any given year. And for clarity's sake, that does not necessarily mean 3 separate citations have been issued. It can mean that there are 3 different types of blight violations within 1 year that the owner was notified under 1 citation or 1 notice of violation. So for example, if there's a dilapidation of the roof and also debris on the front lawn and a 3rd item that are all put into 1 notice of violation, that constitutes 3 violations within a 12-month period. So there is a lot of flexibility granted there. Secondly, the most recent public act updated the primary, what I call the primary blight statute, section 7-148C7H15, to provide that municipalities may now regulate and enforce blight against commercial properties, whereas it used to just be residential.
They caught up with us.
Yes.
Good.
That has been, I can say from background knowledge and research, that has been a hotly contested item in many municipalities across Connecticut, so it's been a well-known hole that the legislature sought to fix.
Good.
The third big change, there is a statute that provides municipalities with the authority to petition the Superior Court to appoint a receiver over blighted properties. That statute that grants that power has existed for many years. For the longest time, it was the only municipalities that could petition under that provision were municipalities with more than 35,000 people living in them. The legislature amended that statute to now state that it's municipalities with more than 15,000 people. And my census data may be outdated, but I believe the town of Darien has more than 15, but less than 35, which would mean that Darien would now fall under that statute. The purpose of a receivership, which I personally think is a rather useful tool, would be that if a municipality has a blighted premises that nobody is caring for, nobody's taking responsibility for, basically nobody's going to do anything with it, it's not occupied, and the municipality does not want to undergo the effort of remediating and selling that property itself, it can petition the court to appoint a 3rd party as receiver over that property. And that 3rd party can be tasked with implementing a court-approved plan to remediate and then sell the property, and then proceeds from that sale would go to both the party that remediated and to the town to pay off any liens on that same property.
Who pays for the receiver to do that work?
So my understanding would be that the receiver would be compensated from the subsequent sale of the property. So for example, if some sort of 3rd-party remediation development company came in and remediated the property up to town standards, the property would still be sold. They would handle the sale. Right. And then both their fees and any town liens would be paid from the sale proceeds.
Okay. I mean, that's important. I know that at the selectman level, and I certainly imagine our friends at the Board of Finance will want to know what potential financial impact there might be for implementing this useful tool.
Yes.
Okay.
And getting someone to agree to be a receiver is going to require assurances that they'll get paid, but they may have to wait a while. So.
Yes. One caveat to the receivership that I'd like to make you all aware of is that it is not solely the municipality who has the authority to petition the court. For example, a resident who lives within a certain footage, I believe the footage is in the memorandum, within a certain distance of the blighted property, could themselves petition the Superior Court to, in theory, request that they be appointed the receiver to remediate the property.
So the neighbor, or
Yes.
the complainant, perhaps, could have standing to apply to be the receiver.
Correct, yes.
I imagine that there must be some sort of regulations within that in terms of, if you're not a municipality, what kind of attributes or whatnot you need to show as a citizen or a neighbor to qualify as a receiver.
Yes, so the list of examples that are provided as an interested third party would be the owner of the building as opposed to the person occupying it. A nearby resident, I believe it was within 100 square feet, so effectively the next door neighbor, or a third-party development organization located in the municipality. I read through the minutes of the state legislature's meetings on the Public Act to see what they were thinking behind this. It was controversial and a lot of back and forth about the merits of this and the potential risks. The concept seems to be that if a neighbor is concerned that the property next door is falling apart, they don't want to live next to something that could be a health hazard. The legislature wanted to grant them the ability to petition the court to allow themselves to go in and remediate and deal with the property, which creates some potential risks involved, but that's the concept of what they did.
Good.
And then I imagine it would probably be the very rare circumstance that a commercial property would qualify or be vacant for a period where you could appoint a receiver, but is this receivership aspect applicable to commercial properties?
I believe it is just residential.
Okay.
I would have to double check, and I can follow up via email as well, but I believe it's just residential because one of the elements for the petition to be valid is that nobody has occupied the premises within the past 12 months, which would inherently mean it's residential.
Right, okay.
Good. Well, there are certainly several commercial buildings around that have been vacant for a while, but we won't pick that right now. Okay, very good.
I guess as a matter of process then, if we then amend our blight review statute and gets through the RTM and with regard to the fines, I would imagine we'd want to take the step of consulting with counsel's office to say, oh, you know what, the Blight Review Board would like to levy, $1,000 a day fines on this property. We think it's applicable under the statute, but get a kind of a review, from you good folks to say, oh, yeah, we believe that it, qualifies. Because what's the point of doing those or enacting these fines, even though we change our statute, and then we find out later, oh, well, you know what, we missed something. Right?
Yes, would be
Okay.
happy to opine on that upon request.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Of course.
Probably our oldest property being fined might well have at least 3 items of blight there. So, all right, good. I hope you both got a copy of Mr. Bruni's memo and a copy of the proposed, what Wilton is dealing with, so that was very helpful. And I guess the next step is for us to see if the selectmen want us to prepare something similar, maybe ask council to prepare the same sort of thing for the Darien blight amendments, and I guess we would act on them or recommend them to the Board of Selectmen, who would then approve and send it on to the RTM.
I'll certainly report in our next meeting the sum and substance of this discussion. And also, I don't know if you had sent any of the, documents to the first selectman, but, you can feel free to do that.
Yes, I was going to ask, so I guess I will.
Yeah, good.
And, you can send it to the first selectman, you can copy the entire board of selectmen.
Will do.
That'd be fine.
Okay. So I think that covers that topic for the moment, which is very good, very comprehensive and clear to me, so that's an accomplishment in and of itself. While you're here, let's talk about foreclosures for just a second. And I believe I can report that I did meet with the first selectman, and we had a good conversation, and I'll let him speak for himself about his thought process in this. But the ultimate thinking he has at this point is that if we are willing now to recommend to the Board of Selectmen certain properties for foreclosure, he would be favorably inclined, and will of course bring it to his Board of Selectmen to see if the rest of the board is. So we have had on our mind about 3 properties that we may well want to do, and we'll go through that tonight. As I say, the first selectman would like us to renew those recommendations that we have made before, just so that we're clear and current on that. So that's what we're thinking, and we'll see. The RTM doesn't need to be involved in that, right? So it's just the Board of Selectmen. They will, then we'll direct you folks to commence those proceedings. I understand in the name of the Blight Prevention Officer, so he can get his moment of fame.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Good, okay, then that's good to know too. Okay. Thank you. We will go back to our list of properties and release you gentlemen to go do other things or go home. All right, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, did we even start?
No.
Yeah.
No,
we didn't even
just
start.
did the,
Yeah.
you're welcome to stay, they just can't bill us.
Uh-huh. All right. So we'll begin at 16001, Mr. Ferentz?
Yes, sir. So, no change in this property, and no sign whatsoever that it's for sale.
Yeah. I thought maybe some of the vegetation was cut a little bit.
Well,
a
it
little
looks
more.
as though they may have cut the grass,
Okay,
but
yeah.
nothing else.
No, it's obviously not ready for sale, but
No.
unless
But-
it's going to
well,
be sold as is and,
Personally, it looks to me, and I haven't been inside, but it looks like a knockdown.
yeah, I'm
So-
sure. Let's see, where did we leave off? Did we ask them to come in today? 16
No, we
months.
did not.
She had said she was going to resolve everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, she said that they had agreed that or they had gotten their father to agree that
Yeah.
it needed to be sold, and they had somebody that was interested,
yeah.
and that was
16
in
to
June,
1.
July?
All right. So I think it's time that we send them notice that we consider several issues to be, or that we are going to have a hearing to determine whether or not certain issues of blight exist. And if so, they get 30 days to remediate, or we'll start fines.
Okay.
And I imagine you can tick off the obvious issues for blight that we can see.
Yes.
The dilapidated condition, the overgrowth of vegetation, the broken windows. I'll let you itemize as appropriate, but you might even have 3 there. So,
Oh, yeah.
so today is the 11th, and our next meeting will be, I wonder when our next meeting is. Probably less than 30 days away, as it usually happens. So we should ask them to attend.
Yeah, the next
It's
meeting is the
9th.
9th.
Yeah, so we better ask them to come on November 13.
Okay.
So that's our formal notification that you have told us of various blight issues, and we will determine whether that is the case, and they will have the opportunity to address that when we meet with them. Okay, 16-001 then. 17-011, okay.
All right, so no change in this property. We've issued a third continuing lien as of 8/13/24.
Okay, good.
And as I discussed with you, I sent a letter on 8/26 to the owner encouraging him to attend this meeting.
Yeah.
And I know Ally's talked to him.
Yeah,
Be quiet, sorry.
Oh, no, but he doesn't want to come in.
No.
yeah.
As I said, nothing's changed, except he has put up 2 no trespassing signs. One on the front lawn
Okay.
and one in the driveway.
Okay. Don't take it personally. But,
No, I haven't been on the property,
no,
so.
I'm sure. Okay, well, we have in the past recommended consideration of foreclosure. Ms. Ramstek is perhaps more sympathetic than we are, but
Well, he is a senior, and he's living there, and if he were to foreclose on it, he would be homeless. And I think it goes against the whole premise of the ordinance, right, to that.
well, actually, if we foreclose on it, he would get any funds from a sale other than what repays us. So he would have, he should have plenty of funds after the foreclosure, just that would have to leave the house. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No, fines right now are $121,100.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, it's on Camp Avenue, it's, I don't know how much land it is, but, again, it just, for the dirt itself, I'm sure there's some real value to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what his first mortgage might be on it, but can't be, I'm
I
gonna,
believe it was inherited, the house.
inherited, so there's probably no first mortgage. So I don't think you have to worry that he's gonna be homeless. I really don't. And it is our second oldest property, and we have made no progress in, well, pushing 7 years. So, I would think it's an appropriate one to recommend to the Board of Selectmen a foreclosure. And I will leave it to others to make a motion to that effect if they wish.
Before we vote on a motion, I'm a little bit torn, because you are certainly, correct that, this property meets a lot of the, factors. At the, at the same time, I'd like to see how our Board of Selectmen, of which, I'm a member, discharges the ones that have, some of the ones that have currently been recommended. I'm also kind of cognizant of the fact that, our board right here is still missing a member from the RTM. And part of me wants to certainly have a representative from that body weighing in perhaps before we recommend another foreclosure proceeding. Just what I'm thinking.
And someone from Ally's border, is that not likely to happen?
I have no idea. There's 7 seats, and there's only 3 people on the commission, and I don't know where that stands. So I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
But that's the selectman is meant to recommend those,
No, I
or?
believe that's to the RTM as well, right?
Yes. So I I'd like to see another member from another constituency weighing in before we do recommend another foreclosure. Though I'll be candid in saying that I agree with your assessment, Mr. Chairman, that this is perhaps one that is certainly merited.
Okay, well, that would, we hope, will only be next month. We should have the RTM representative here. I have no problem with waiting for that. You okay with that,
That's a
Ms. Oki?
good idea.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll probably be our answer on several other that we had also talked about foreclosing, and that's fine. That's fine. 1701, but anything more? We can't really do anything more. Fines are accruing. Okay, that's 17-011. Now to 17-019.
Okay, not much has changed here.
I'm pretty confident they're not living there now.
I don't think they are. The dumpster that was there for the last 2.5 months is gone.
Yeah,
There's a vehicle that
that hasn't.
clearly hasn't moved
Right.
in probably 2 months. I did call the homeowner and got her voicemail, left a message and asked her to call me back to give me an update, and I've heard crickets.
Yeah.
So-
It is relevant as to whether or not that car is registered, and I'm looking at the plates. Did you obliterate the plate, or is that?
I blurred them
You
out.
did, okay, that's fine. But I wonder if it is in fact registered.
She had said they were taking it down,
Yeah, months ago.
but it hasn't been, they haven't applied to the building department.
No, I checked yesterday, and I don't see any permits for demolition.
And now we think it's vague. I think we need to have her come in and address this so we get current information. So again, a hearing. She should get notice of what we think are several blight issues, and that we intend to determine whether or not they are in fact blight, and if so, they'll get 30 days to remediate or fines will begin. If it is in fact, well, I guess we're not going to use the new statute at this point without amending our own ordinance. So anyway, okay, Mr. Ferentz,
All right?
again for November 9.
Yeah, November 13th, I believe is what you said.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, you're right. Yeah, it would be the 9th of October, right, okay. Good.
Right.
Glad somebody knows.
Okay, 18002. This is
Oh, look at that. Success.
a bit of an improvement. We have siding, Belgian block, the driveway's waiting for pavement, I guess. The windows are in. There was a plumbing permit and an electrical permit, which I'm pretty certain have been closed out because they're complete. I spoke to one of the workers that was working outside on Monday, and I asked him if there was sheetrock in the building, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's all done." So they are
All right.
currently moving along.
So this is the one that was sold and the lien was not paid.
Correct.
So there's still 42,007 pending. Kind of like to charge them interest. Wonder if we have a way to do that.
Well, the other thing is they put sod down on the lawn.
Yeah, good, good.
So it looks like they're trying to get this thing finished up.
Yeah. Yeah, we should remember as we amend the ordinance that we may want to make provision for interest if we suspend or otherwise terminate liens before they are paid off, because we are doing that in a number of cases. So,
Yes.
okay, Good, let's hope to get paid soon,
hopefully.
yeah.
18004, no changes. I know 2 months ago, I told you that I'd spoken to the homeowner, and he said he was going to be able to get rid of 2 of the containers and some other items in the yard, and they're all still there. I believe this canvas structure was supposed to be gone, but it's not. And the upside-down boat trailer is now right side up, so that's an improvement.
Oh, yeah, great. All right, well, this is one that liens are accruing. We had at one point moved and adopted a motion to recommend to the selectmen that they proceed with foreclosure, but we're going to wait on that in terms of the renewal of that at this point. So we'll address it when we have our new member. Okay.
All right, 21001.
Oh, yeah.
I sent out a notice that the board, of the board's decision to recommend foreclosure to the Board of Selectmen on 7/17 by certified mail. I received the return card back signed, asking, of course, that the, I guess she's the niece, show up for the meeting tonight. And as you can see, she's not here. We also filed a third continuing lien on August 13th.
Good, okay.
When I sent the letter out, I encouraged her to share the information in my letter with any other interested relatives, just because we don't know who might or might not be
Yeah.
interested.
Good,
But I've heard nothing from her.
good. All right, well, given our posture, we'll take no action now, I assume. Right?
All right, the other thing with this is apparently the taxes have not been paid in 4 years.
Okay. All right, well, maybe the tax collector would join in an action, we'll see about that.
Well, the tax collector thinks that a tax sale is easier than a foreclosure. I'm not,
Defer to counsel on that.
yeah, I'm not quite sure how that would work, but that was her opinion.
Certainly, the tax would have a priority. I don't know where we stand in terms of priority, so anyway, problem for another day.
All right.
23-001, I think we've already discussed that, and we're taking no further action today.
Yes. And 23004.
I should say, we discussed that in executive session with a representative of the property owner, and that was our resolution. Okay, oh, yes.
This one, we received a letter from the attorney, from Attorney Labella on a zoning delay, which I have included in the packet for you.
Oh, yes, okay.
I think it's the second page. Oh, no, it's the first page. Second page you had last, or 2 months ago.
Oh, there was an email, right, okay. Unfortunately, there's a variety of bureaucratic issues, including having a packed agenda for complicated matters in September. They decided that this matter would be heard in October. Okay, nothing we can do about that. Thank you.
All right. And 23011. All the repairs that I have requested have now been completed. According to the real estate agent that I've been speaking with, there was a hearing on 9/6 for a DIL, which is a deed in lieu of foreclosure. I contacted the agent again yesterday for an update, and the court needed updated values, which they provided, but I asked again if there was, to let me know by today if there was any further updates, and I haven't heard anything. So
Well,
they're moving along with what they need to do. And I don't believe we have any further blight issues.
right. As we discussed in our last meeting, the minutes indicate that we would consider removing the property from our list at this meeting, and it seems appropriate to do so.
Yep.
I move that we remove 23-011 from the blight list.
Good. Ms.
Second.
Oki seconds, all in favor? Yes. Thank you, okay. So,
So-
here I hopefully ask, is that the end of it,
That-
Mr. Ferris?
That is the end of these 9 properties, and that's all that I've brought to your attention. I have a total of 21 on my little let's check these out list.
Okay,
Some of them are moving forward. Actually, the majority of them are moving forward, so
Oh.
I don't think they're ever going to come to you.
Oh.
But just, once again, I said it last month or 2 months ago, I don't sit around all day. I do have other things to do.
yeah, no, that's good. I'm happy when we don't have to be involved. That's best for everybody.
Yes.
Good.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. I don't think I had anything else on the agenda. Nope, good. So a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Mr. Burke. Ms. Oki seconded, and that was unanimous. Thanks. We're adjourned.